And look, the other thing is the rubbish that we still have to endure over energy policy. Persistent arguments from both major parties about net zero carbon dioxide emissions. Why? Well, something to do with global warming, though when they learnt the planet wasn't warming, they called it climate change. So peddle this nonsense about closing down coal-fired power, and what do you get? Last week, the Tomago smelter in New South Wales, one of Australia's biggest electricity users, shut down 3 times. The power price, normally between $50 a megawatt hour and $100, climbed at one stage to $14,500 per megawatt hour. Why? Well, the grid was short of electricity. Price governs supply. As you know, if bananas are scarce, the price goes through the roof. Tomago shut down because it couldn't afford the price. And the Tomago CEO, Matt Howell, said it was equivalent to a petrol price of $400 a litre. This is where we're heading with this demonisation of coal-fired power. And in the end, massive businesses like the Tomago smelter in New South Wales will have to close. Why not? Everything else is heading overseas for cheaper energy. But the coalition in New South Wales have just won a by-election. And yet Matthew Keane is talking about 100% renewables. Both major parties are talking about net zero carbon dioxide emissions. Why? Because they presumably warm the planet. Well, China produces 1/3 of all the world's carbon dioxide emissions and promises to keep increasing them as it builds coal-fired plants, hundreds of them. That being the case, China must be the hottest place on earth, wouldn't you think? Yet today we learn that some of China's top long-distance runners are amongst 21 competitors who've been tragically killed by hail, freezing rain and high winds during a cross-country mountain race in China. It's tragic, and organisers have been accused of failing to plan the event properly, but it was so cold that runners said they lost consciousness. This is in China, where carbon dioxide levels are greater than those of any other country on the planet. And here we are talking about net zero carbon dioxide emissions by 2050, when the world's biggest emitter, China, will keep pumping the stuff out at least until 2060. In the meantime, we face the prospect of more Tomagos. Net zero by 2050 is off the planet stuff. Predicted global land surface temperatures are meaningless. 70% of the planet is covered by water. And that's why cyclones, hurricanes and typhoons roar in from our oceans. Nothing to do with carbon dioxide, the source of all plant life. I suspect the by-election in the Hunter Valley told the bulk of us that sensible Australians are waking up. There was no joy in that result for either of the major parties, I have to tell you.